Let's get right into this review for One Night Only. Alright, so One Night Only is directed by Will Gluck and stars Monica Barbero and Callum Turner as the main leads. I'll be honest, the cast is what primarily drove my interest in viewing this film. I can't say I thought all too much about the core plot unfolding for this film, other than it was either going to be a hit or a miss. So now that I've seen the film, what did I think about the cinematic package here? I thought it was just okay with the story they were working with. To start with the positives, I enjoyed the entire cast. I also enjoyed how much it leaned into such a silly premise, with sex being legal for one day a year, which is almost reminiscent of the annual rules in the Purge films, just with a lot less violence. Also, there were the occasional moments near the beginning of the film where I did enjoy the creativity of how this plays out and how segments were visualized to showcase this one chaotic day of the year. Another positive were the set locations that paired with this story in New York. Lots of vibrant places and great use of set locations to keep the story rolling throughout the city as the acts get going. And as weak as the theme came out in this story, I still found myself appreciating that churning progression of witnessing artificial love to what true love actually means, which definitely is a message worth throwing out in modern times. Now as for the negatives, I just thought this entire story's premise was lacking any real depth. There's not a whole lot going on here to keep me further intrigued beyond the initial setup. Sure, the story gets rolling and the characters are developing to a certain extent by the end of the story, but that entire experience from Act 1 to 3 just wasn't entertaining enough, and I found it too bare bones to keep me thoroughly engaged. The entire premise here is loosey-goosey and really as simple as any story can get, and if the absurdity of the plot didn't work for you from the previews, it definitely won't get better when viewing the film. Also, the thematic messaging of the film doesn't feel all too strong, even though it comes out clearly. Something about this entire cinematic experience feels a bit too messy for me to warrant any further praise with how the thematic elements are introduced or explored. There's also too many dips into the C or D tier territory in regards to story direction or execution, starting from Act 2 and beyond. My final score for One Night Only is 5.5 out of 10. This was a one-time watch experience for me. I didn't love it or fully resent it. If you were interested from the previews, then still go for it and view the film. But this time around, I thought the flaws were pretty visible throughout the cracks for a cinematic package that lingers below the B-tier zone. I still enjoyed the cast, their performances, and some of the simple qualities and traits to the story being explored here. But the general execution from beginning to end was not as clear-cut and meaningful as I'd have liked it to be. Thanks for watching the video, like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I shall see you on my next upload. Until then, stay safe out there and